We're seeing a lot of pro athletes, both current and past athletes, start their own podcast. Why don't they just angle to get on a broadcast network TV show? We're seeing a lot of athletes go down the path of independent media and creating their own shows that are extensions of their brand. Some of these shows deal directly with sports, so it's almost like having their own platform in terms of talking about gameplay, strategy, sports news, and media. But we're also seeing some other pop culture podcasts pop up, like the one from Shannon Sharp, who has had a broadcast media deal and has decided that it was better for him to go out on his own. Hey everyone, my name is Angela Hollowell, and I am the host of the Honey and Hustle podcast and the founder of Rootful Media. I think for a lot of athletes, it feels like a natural extension of your brand as an athlete to go on an ESPN, a Fox Sports, a CBS Sports as a commentator to talk strictly about gameplay. And there's some benefit to that, right? I think there's an understanding and a clear path to getting paid if you're on a traditional broadcast media company. If you're on a traditional broadcast company platform, it's a little more rigid in terms of how you have to dress. You are expected to kind of dress up. You can't maybe be as lax as you may want to be. And you are beholden to their time in terms of scheduling and recording and things like that. So there are some pros to independent media, right? Maybe the paycheck isn't as upfront. Maybe you find a sponsor that you work with that sponsors your show, but you can be a little more lax with how you dress. You have a little more flexibility in the topics that you cover, and you can build a brand outside of your career stats, which is awesome, right? Who wants to be known for a number? Nobody. The biggest thing, like I said, is that there, isn't as clear of a path to getting paid for that. So you have to do the heavy lifting with finding a sponsor or finding a brand partner who is willing to support you and your show financially. But that also comes at the benefit of being able to work around your own schedule and your own season as a player, as an athlete, and some things just can't be taken for granted. I firmly believe that the best time to start a creative project is when you already have a job that allows you to invest in that project. So essentially, I do advocate for part-time creators. I think there's a huge benefit to starting a creative project as a part-time job, as a part-time kind of endeavor, just because you get to see what things you like about it, what things you don't like about it, if it's worth you pursuing full-time, if that's something you would enjoy doing full-time. And once again, you don't necessarily have to worry about money as much, getting money from that because you have income from another source. And if you're an athlete, just multiply everything I said times 10. I mean, these people have a lot more income than I have to invest in a show, and it shows. I mean, the quality of Paul George's podcast, the quality of Club Shay Shay, the quality of Matt Barnes' podcast, and the Kels Brothers podcast. It's incredible. It's very high quality. It's very well produced. That comes from them having, the disposable income to invest in that. They probably have been followed by press and media for years, so they have access to some of the best filmmakers and editors that you can imagine. Probably some of the best marketers too. Definitely the best marketers, of course, because that's what, really gets your show out there. They are video podcasts. They're not just audio only podcasts, which is interesting. You get to see them off the field. You get to see them in their natural habitat in a space where they feel comfortable talking about things that they genuinely care about. There's something that's irreplaceable about building your own brand and your own platform. When we look at the prevalence and the rise of college NIL deals, it's almost like we're seeing pro athletes explore what they could do with their name, image, and likeness. Yes, pro athletes have access to, brand partnerships and things like that, but I think we're seeing people explore and maybe even return to a playfulness around exploring what they could do with their own platform and building their own platform outside of being an athlete. If pro athletes are making the time to be part-time creators, I think you can too. I think they're showing that there's a benefit to having the space to be more than just an athlete, just as you can be more than just a creator, more than just an entrepreneur. They're building the framework for what it can mean to create a platform on your terms and not just use your platform for another brand. So for all the people that are looking to create something in order to get brand partnerships and monetize exclusively through brand partnerships, I really want to encourage you to think like a pro athlete podcaster and think about what the value of your platform is to you and your personal brand and what it would be worth to share that with another namesake and with a traditional media company. Thank you so much for watching. I make a lot of videos about how to grow your audience and impact. So if you got some value from this one, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.